Glove Ministries presents the study Buddhism and Christianity. How does Buddhist teaching compare to the Bible? Read by Pastor Tom, Part 1. So how does Buddhism compare to Christianity and the Gospel of Jesus Christ? And how does the Buddhist concept of gods compare to the God of the Bible? Should people use images or idolatry in worship? And what about Buddhist doctrine regarding reincarnation, karma, and nirvana? How does the teaching of Buddha about suffering compare to the Christian doctrine? Should a Christian accept or oppose Buddhism? The purpose of this lesson is to study the doctrines of Buddhism and compare them to the Bible. Buddhism is similar on a number of points to Hinduism. Buddhism began in India in about the 6th century BC, and from there it spread through Asia. Today it's found mainly in Japan, China, and the Far East. The system was begun by Gautama Buddha. The title Buddha means one who is enlightened. He was born about 563 BC and raised in a very wealthy family where he was protected and sheltered from problems and suffering. Later, he was exposed to suffering and became very concerned with the cause of it. At age 29, he left his wife and son to seek a solution. He tried and rejected both Hinduism and extreme self-deprival known as asceticism. After 6 years of seeking, he arrived at the system that became Buddhism. He established an order of monks and one of nuns devoted to his plan of overcoming suffering. Then he spent the rest of his life as a wandering religious teacher. Buddhists have tried to adapt their religion to the views of people converted from other religions. The result was that people could believe in almost anything and still be a Buddhist. The differences within Buddhism can be likened not to the differences between Catholics and Protestants, but more to those between Christians, Jews, and Muslims. These vast differences make it extremely hard to characterize Buddhism in general. No matter how you attempt to describe Buddhism, many Buddhists will still object because they believe some different variation of Buddhism. We'll examine two major branches of Buddhism. Theravada is the older, conservative wing, which follows the original teachings of Gautama. These Buddhists are found mainly in southern Asia, Thailand, Burma, etc. Mahayana is the newer, liberal wing of Buddhism. Those of this view refer to conservatives as the little vehicle and themselves as the great vehicle because they believe their views are more practical for most people. They're found mainly in Central and Northern Asia, Japan, China, Korea, etc. Conservative Buddhists, or Theravada, have three groups of writings called Three Baskets, the Triptaka. It's written in the Pali language and is 11 times the size of the Bible. It's supposed to contain the sermons and doctrines of Gautama, but it was written centuries after he died. Hence, it's not an eyewitness account of his life or teachings. There simply is no such eyewitness account. All we have are traditions. Liberal Buddhists, Mahayana, follow much more than the Triptaka. Their scriptures contain over 5,000 volumes. Each sect emphasizes their favorite portions. Teachings of various parts of their scriptures contradict one another. We'll attempt to describe some concepts often accepted in Buddhism, but please remember that there are still vast variations within Buddhism. The material here presented is based on the Encyclopedia Britannica articles on Buddha and Mahayana, also The World Religions, edited by Norman Anderson, with the article by Bentley, Taylor, and Offner. Please consider the Buddhist teachings as compared to the Bible teaching regarding the following subjects. God. A Buddhist teaching about God. The conservative view, Gautama taught nothing about God. He refused even to deny or affirm God's existence. He definitely denied that he himself was divine. Instead, his teachings were designed to obtain relief from suffering by means of human effort alone. Original and conservative Buddhism involves neither faith nor worship, neither prayer nor praise, nor forgiveness of sins. In that sense, conservative Buddhism is not really a religion, but more of a moral philosophy designed to overcome suffering. This is the end of part 1.